Hello, in this video we're going to talk about how to post final grades at the University of Utah. We are going to start on the University of Utah homepage, and we're going to make sure we understand how to figure out when grades are due. So if we go to the academics and then the catalog, and what we really want here is academic calendar, and then in this case we're in fall 2024, and notice right here grades due. It's one of the first things you see. So by December 23rd we have to get grades posted. So before we post grades, we're going to want to go to our Canvas page and make sure that we haven't missed anything, that we've accounted for all the assignments that students have turned in. And some of that involves, examining the to-do list over here, but we also have this tab, Grades. If we click on that, it's going to bring up the scores from every assignment throughout the semester, and it will also have symbols for things that have not yet been scored. So what you're going to want to do is scan through the entire class and just make sure you haven't missed anything. Sometimes you forgot to give one a score initially. This is the test student, and a couple of these test students I didn't score, and usually I'll go through and fill those in too. I always give my test students full points. Okay, let's quickly cover some symbols you're going to see as you're navigating through the grading page on Canvas. So right here, I've got a little eye with a line drawn through it. And what that means is that that assignment is currently hidden from students. They can't see their score on it. They can't see your response to it. Another one that we should look at is this symbol right here. This means something has been submitted and you have not scored it yet. You obviously want to take a look at that before you post grades. And this means that nothing has been submitted. I think it's best practice for a variety of reasons to make sure that all of these are filled in with a number. So if the student never submits anything and it was a required assignment, then make sure to give it a 0, because that will affect the percentage that you end up seeing in Canvas. The goal again is to have every single thing that you see on your grading list to be a number, not a symbol of some sort. Now if I go over here, here's some that I haven't looked at yet. I would want to take care of that before posting grades. I'm going to go to the very end. All these assignments add up to a percentage, and we're going to want to equate all of these with grades. But one thing we need to recognize is that Canvas does not connect to the grade system at the University of Utah at all. So even though we've entered these scores on Canvas, the University of Utah has no idea what the grades are. That you have to input manually. So to do that, we're going to go to the campus information system. Here is the University of Utah's very busy homepage. We're going to come on over here on the right hand side, and we're going to click on CIS. And at this point, you may be prompted to put in your dual login information. I was not, because I was already logged in. And where I want to go, the easy way to do it is to just type in grades. And first one that comes up, enter and view grades. So we're going to click on that. So these are all classes I'm teaching this semester. We'll click on my 1010 class. Okay, so once we're on this page, usually I like to go on a double screen, like I'll have my laptop hooked up to some other screen, and so I can look at two different things, because what you're going to need to do is bounce between the actual scores in Canvas and then the grade enter portal. I could do that by like separating the tabs too, I suppose, like do something kind of like this. So here we are with two separate tabs open. Usually I like to work on two screens if I can, but this allows me to, on one side, see the student and what percentage they have earned in the class, and then over here enter the grade that accords to that percentage according to the syllabus. Couple things to say about grades. So the percentages, as for like what an A is and an A minus and a B plus, those are usually listed on the syllabus for the class. University does have some guidelines posted in the regulations library. What I want to focus on for our purposes is two specific grades. One is C minus. The reason C minus is important is that it is considered an unofficial cutoff for passing the class, meaning that the lowest passing score that a student can get and then move on to the next section of writing or get credit for the class and with their department is a C minus. If I give a D plus, it doesn't mean that that student has failed. It's a little easier on the student's GPA, but a lot of times that credit does not transfer. So keep in mind, C's get degrees. Another grade to be aware of is the little EU as opposed to E. E means a failure in the class. EU also means a failure, but it's a slightly different designation. If we say EU, what we're saying is that student never once turned in any material or showed up to class. Like a student's just been completely absent all semester long and has done nothing in the class. That situation calls for an EU. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. The designation of I is one for students who have done quite well in the class, but then toward the end of the semester have some sort of emergency or tragedy that keeps them from completing the class. A grade of I essentially puts the student's grade on hold, and they can come back and make it up with you the following semester. But here's the thing, they hardly ever do, and this is something you should avoid giving or give it only in extraordinary circumstances. If there's some student that's fell behind a little bit, try to work with that student to get them a passing grade, or give the student an E. If a student really does have like a life-shaping tragedy towards the end of the semester, then you can consider giving them an I, so long as they were solid students. But you do have to justify this. There's going to be an explanation that you have to give for why you're giving that student an I. And I will say that in my experience, it's fairly rare that students who get an I show up again that next semester. So make sure all your grades are posted. There are 2 buttons up here to be aware of. If you screw things up, you can, of course, just clear all the grades. If you press save, it allows you to come back and then revise those scores later, but it does not post them. Post is what you have to click at the end of the semester. When you are completely done, you're sure every assignment has been submitted and you are ready to move on and ready for your students to move on, then we press the post. Once you press post, you will get an email verifying that you have posted grades, and then you can take a break for the rest of the time that you have and forget about your classes. If you have questions about this, send me an email, let me know. Hope your semester ends well, and yeah, thanks for watching.